We're still going to put 200% and then some out when we respond, and we're going to put a smile on our face because that's what we do. And we're there to be professionals, and we're there to give everything that we can to our community. And we will always do that, regardless of the conditions the city forces upon us.
Okay. Like I say, I always like to interject my observations. I think I like to be different from the professional news media. I'm only a amateur citizen journalist. But I must say, and I invite the mayor to respond to me, because I'll make the interjection into this informative discussion I hope we're having, that I have seen small little indications that all has not been well for a number of years between our mayor and the fire union. In fact, I'm not even going to ask you to comment. I'm just going to throw this in that maybe the mayor might like to address, because I think an issue should be brought up here that it's still going on so long, not getting a contract, and I myself don't feel that the city is cooperating to get a contract signed. That's my own feeling. But I remember when the new fire chief Weber came down, and he had asked for, I think, dishwashing machines in the fire stations. It was very obvious. I was at that budget meeting where the mayor said, if you think you're going to get machines to wash your dishes, you can forget about it. Now that to me was kind of an emotional, non-professional administrative reply to a budget workshop that was you would think we honestly ask for what you want. And among some of the other stuff too, I don't know if I'll be able to draw this, all my little things that I have been watching right now probably come to me later, but there has been an indication to me anyway that the mayor, and he may be a good part of what happens in the city council and what advice maybe Ken Parker follows, maybe perhaps some bad feeling with the fire department. Now I know a Pone reader had written to me and told me that there was years ago when Mayor Green had made a statement that he would trim down the fire union to its size or something similar. I spoke to the mayor, and to get a response from the mayor, which I'm not happy about, you have to call him up on a telephone. I like the written word. Email is very easy to follow, and it's very clear. I don't have to put any interpretations on it. That's what the man says. So I don't. Well, this is very subjective, but I think it's time for me to say this. I do not care for someone who says I do. A politician, an elected leader, official who says I don't know how to do email, so call me on the phone or see me personally, because that's a telephone interview or a face-to-face interview, as opposed to this. This is on record, on video, audio and video, is open to interpretation. And but I did phone the mayor, and Mayor Green said that he had never, at any time, made a statement like that, as was suggested when he was running against the future mayor, Dorothy Hugel. And I accepted, and I said thank you, and I never published the accusation. But I point to that right now, lacking some other specifics. I can't grasp at the back of my mind right now, but I probably will in about an hour, that there has seemed to be a sense of friction, at least from the mayor. And I don't know how far along it may go to other city council members. I haven't seen it advertised by other city council members, but I am concerned about it. And I do think it's important enough to interject my own opinion to this discourse and invite the mayor to give us some kind of a response. I'd be very happy to meet with him. And I myself feel it's time for the city to make public exactly what in the world they, for the public, what are they headed for and what do they want. Because we don't need a fire department that is has low morale, or even a police department, or any city agency. And I suspect that most of the public citizens support the public safety agencies. I have found that to be in the past, that whatever is wanted for public safety agencies, practically every place, has usually been mostly supported by the public. I do know that now nationwide there are a lot of citizens complaining that the pensions and the benefits are too great, and I think that's a direct result of how the nation has gotten a bad deal from Wall Street and all that whole mess. So I myself had asked how much do we have to contribute more for taxes. I myself have put on my website, and I still feel the same way. Tell me how much more taxes I would have to pay. I'd probably be willing to go for it. I'm not so sure if I want to pay more for garbage pickups and all that, where we can start cutting here, but I hope most of the people feel that way, and maybe they can send us some emails and give us some thoughts on it. Well, I think this was very informative. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, there's one of the other things that I don't know if everybody realizes or not, but we've had so many changes within our department. Not only have we lost chiefs within the administrative level that have really changed the structure of our department, we've lost our training grounds that aren't available to us any longer for us to go out and practice and train and make ourselves better, more efficient in the city. We've lost our public education department that used to provide training to our kids in school, making places safe. That's gone. Tanya used to do a phenomenal job. That's no longer there. We've lost the flu shot program, which was a revenue source to the city, and that's not something that's I believe they're planning on bringing back. And on top of it, as we stated, the staffing is at a skeleton system. We have a fire truck that sits in a bay in the heart of our city collecting dust that we could be utilizing. We're not. Instead, we're choosing to have 2 firefighters on a rescue truck, and they have nothing better than a garden hose to fight a fire with. You take into consideration, all of the big businesses that are in that district, or a home that might catch on fire that's expecting a full-service fire truck to arrive. It's not going to happen. And I don't know if people realize that or not.
No, I don't think we
Depending
do.
on where you live in the city, your level of service is different. People who live in District 3 have the rescue truck.
You can't
Every-
enter a structure
yeah.
with that hose.
Every other district has a fire truck that's going to show up with 3 people on it, and it's capable of fighting a fire in a residence.
Well, who has the garden hose, the brush truck?
It's a rescue apparatus that's there. It's basically a fire department ambulance transport unit.
And they only have a garden hose? Can't they have a proper...
It's basically a thicker garden hose, because you can't enter a structure in order to fight a fire. It doesn't have the appropriate,
We say garden hose. It's
it's
not a garden hose, but we're just using
it's
that
made
example.
it's similar to what your garden hose in your home is going to be. It's a bit bigger,
well,
but you're not going to go into a home with it.
Can't they put a full-fledged hose on that
Well,
truck?
we have an apparatus sitting there that only requires one other firefighter to be on there
Oh, I
each
see,
day
yeah.
in order to maintain a safety standard, and they're choosing not to. Meanwhile, other departments continue to hire personnel. Other departments are receiving raises. There's money there. There's money available.
It's not a fire truck. It's a ambulance.
Mhm.
It has some firefighting gear on it, and it has a compressed air foam system. It doesn't have any water. A fire truck has water on it. A fire truck has a capability of hooking up to a hydrant and getting more water to fight a fire in your residence. This does not.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and the training is very important, very much so for fire personnel, because they have to work as a team, and everybody got to know what his job is when they go in. And it's important in police work too, but I myself feel it's much more important in fire work as